He is a man of the people.
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
The Big Tom West Show.
West. West.
5 Things I Know by Tom West. If you shit 'em, you wash 'em. You never want your credibility banana to turn brown. You gotta be careful when you go poking. Who knows what one might find. I'm currently sitting between nowhere and somewhere else. When ignorance gets started, it knows no bounds. And finally, people who eat with their mouth open burn themselves on soup. 91-year-old woman loses $250,000 in publisher clearinghouse scam. Belnor, Missouri, which is up in North County.
In Belnor?
Over there in Belnor. 91-year-old Barb Fish and the mother-in-law was swindled out of a huge chunk of her life savings when she fell victim to a scam. Phone call. Mother-in-law thought she won $4 million. The guy talking to the lady got her to trust him. Mother-in-law thought she was paying taxes to claim her prize. It still works, and people are still doing this. From November through February, she wrote check after check. Mother-in-law sent the scammers $250,000 to claim the prize she won. $250,000. When everyone in the family figured out what was going on, they had the calls forwarded to their cell phone. Fish said her husband told the scammer to stop. Anyway, they fucked these people's life up, whoever these scammers are.
So the scammers were writing checks?
No. The 91-year-old mother-in-law, both live.
Right.
She's taking care of, the mother-in-law is taking care of the 91-year-old.
Right.
Well, it's the 91-year-old's money, but the mother-in-law is paying $250,000 out of the 91-year-old's job.
That's just wrong.
And you're out your money, and your life is essentially ruined.
Yeah. Where are you going to go to?
What the hell are you going to do? You're in Belnor, for fuck's sake. And a whole nother side note is, what's doing with $250,000 in an account from a 91-year-old Belnor woman? I mean, I just say, I'm sure it's all legal and good. I say, how did she get that? I'm curious.
And still lives in Belnor.
And still, she loves Belnor. She's been there forever.
Yeah. Belnor just... you would think that being in Belnor is punishment enough. Don't scam me.
A letter to the worthless goober. Dear Jagoff, who stole from a 91-year-old woman, shame on you. I don't believe in much, but I do believe that what comes around goes around. The next time you go to the doctor with a cough and a fever and a burning sensation in your groin, I hope you are diagnosed with coronavirus and cancer of the prick. May your last moments on earth be painful and terrifying. You earned it. Die alone. Die slow. Regards, Tom West.
Because your ears could use some tickling. Here's more of the Big Tom West Show.
Back when I was a flight attendant in the early 90s, I took some time and went to Bimini, Bahamas, which is the first island off the coast of Florida. About a 90-minute boat ride, 25-minute seaplane. You're right there. And at the time, it was like a trailer park with an ocean view. It was beautiful. It was really, really nice. They only gouged you on the alcohol, but you expect that. And I got to know some of the town folk of Bimini.
How many times did you go to Bimini?
How many times had I gone?
Yeah. Handful?
3. I went a total of 3 times. So every time you second time, you meet them first time, second time you go, of course, and the third, oh, old friend, my God, we might as well be old, friends from a distant land.
Right.
And I was getting ready to leave and go back, and my friend Hillary said, come on. And he motioned me to the back of his trailer, took me into his bedroom, pulled the covers back, and there was a kilo of cocaine.
That's a lot of cocaine.
It's a big brick of cocaine. I said, wow, look at that, Hillary. I said, I wouldn't do all that at once, but, good for you. He said, no, I want you to take it back to Miami, and as soon as you land, you'll have $10,000 cash.
No.
He says, you work for the airlines. They're not going to screen you. Come on. The flight left in 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. And there was one moment I thought, $10,000. Boom, boom, boom. And I said, dude, I no way.
Oh, God.
Get back to Miami, walked right through customs, didn't even check. I said, hey, how are you? My ID badge on. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Whoop. Have a nice day.
But in Miami, they have the drug-sniffing dogs, don't they?
But I had airport credentials in the early 90s. I got to divert all of the...
Oh, yeah. Well, did you ever see the movie American Made, Tom Cruise?
Great movie.
Right. That's the same sort of thing. He owned an airline. No one's going to stop you.
The lingo. That's your job. You act like you've been there before. Just whoop, have a night. Can't happen so much nowadays.
No. Everybody's screened. Yeah, I mean, that was back in the day when a pilot could have a couple, snorts at the bar before he'd go in and get in the cockpit.
Or a couple of snorts up in the cockpit while you're there.
Right. It just like the stewardess, too.
We are on cruise control. Betty, could you bring my 8-ball up here, please?
Bend over and let me snort it off your backside. It's like a shelf.
As we begin our final descent into St. Louis, I'm going to do a big line of blow and try to get Betty here to jerk me off. We'll be landing in 15 minutes. Thanks for flying. Ladies and gentlemen, your flight attendant Betty is going to have several of her orifices filled here in the next few minutes, so we're going to ask you to buckle up, put those tray tables and seat backs all the way up, and let her service me. Thank you.
I saw a thing that said the seat back pockets of a plane are some of the most disgusting, dirty places on Earth.
Not good. It's horrible. In my little routine, I used to say, if you look in the seat pocket in front of you, God knows what you'll find, but you should find a safety information card. We're going to ask you to please take that out and follow along as I...
Then please sanitize your hands after you touch it.
Diapers.
What's the worst thing you ever pulled out of the back?
I remember I was just trying to clean the airplane, and I noticed there was something in there, so in the aisle, I reach on the window pocket, and I put my hand into an open barf bag. No.
Oh, that's horrible. I can almost smell it.
It's I'm supposed to, the plane's supposed to go to Madison, Wisconsin in 45 minutes, and I got an armful of barf.
That's a whole lot of pretzels and cookies. Those biscottes.
Back in those days, they gave you those little Swiss triangle.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah.
A little package of summer sausage.
Wow, that is some
Triscuit,
gross vomit.
Ritz,
and you got all this
in a box. It was like a lunchbox thing.
Yeah. I do remember that now.
I lived on those lunch boxes for a couple, 2-3 years.
Man, why? So, what's the whole deal with the half a glass of soda? Is it to save money?
That's what it's there for. But I always just gave them I put the little ice in the little cup. Pour it, and then I'd give them the can. And if they didn't want it, they'd give it back to me, but I'd just take it.
Yeah, I mean, because you can ask for a second one, can't you?
Well, nowadays, everything costs $15.
You don't have to pay for your soda and your biscotte. You still get the free soda.
Do you really?
Yeah, last time I flew on Southwest even. You got your free half a glass of soda.
Boy, that's a bunch of cattle moving into a tube to get slaughtered, isn't it?
Also, what is the deal with tomato juice? Why is tomato juice such a big deal when people fly? It's huge.
They like the tomato juice. Everyone likes tomato juice on an airplane.
It's. I've heard that it's actually kind of a good thing, though. I mean, is there some sort of reason why people order it? But my wife, she never drinks tomato juice at home. Never. We get on a plane.
Tomato juice.
What would you like to eat? What would you like to drink, ma'am? Tomato juice. We go to brunch on a Sunday.
No.
You can get tomato juice.
Homemade tomato juice. No, I'll take the plain can is good for me.
Yeah, give me the Del Monte. It's crazy. And my mom, tomato juice. Anytime she ever flew, tomato juice.
No.
She gets the red lip, you know, she already had the smoker lip, and then she'd hit that tomato juice.
It's the thick, warm, coagulated tomato juice.
Oh yeah.
Kind of stains the mustache on the old lady.
They love it. They love it.
I was the only flight attendant for a 42-seat plane. There was 2 pilots up front and then me in the back. That was it. And the owner of the airline said that air conditioning is a, quote, passenger convenience item only. So you would land the plane at Lambert, let it sit there for 2 hours, and then get on an airplane with no air conditioning.
Why?
Because they didn't have the staff to fix the air conditioning. They were busy trying to fix an engine down at Gate 37.
Oh.
It was horrible.
How often would the AC go out?
It was the entire. I worked there for a total of 3 summers, and 2 out of the 3 summers, no air conditioning or very little. When it did work, it was shoddy at best. I'd have to change my clothes 5 times a day. I had 5 shirts that I brought with me because I'd be soaked.
That's ridiculous.
It's horrible. But the flight benefits are very good.
Yeah. Yeah. You can be a deadhead somewhere. You can go wherever you want,
for, $50.
That's pretty cool.
$50 is $50, especially in Amsterdam, which I've never been, but I've heard.
So we were in Orlando, and we were getting ready to fly home. This is October, right? And I know it's October because one of the points of the story is a Halloween bucket from McDonald's. Okay? So we get to the airport.
So your Happy Meal comes in a bucket?
The Happy Meal comes in like a Halloween trick-or-treat bucket.
Yeah.
So we get to the airport. We go through security, and we're sitting there and whatnot. And I'm like, wow, my stomach doesn't feel good. Does not feel good at all. I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. So I went into the bathroom, and as I was walking to the bathroom, I grabbed a wastebasket from the sitting area and took it with me into the thing because I thought I was going to both puke and crap myself.
Coming out both ends.
It was going to come out both ends, and I'm getting ready to board a flight from Orlando to Atlanta, then Atlanta up to St. Louis. So I go to the bathroom, and I just unload. I'm like, oh, just not feel well. I puked in the bucket, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm okay. Get on the plane. We had just bought my daughter a Happy Meal, and it came in the Frankenstein bucket. So she's sitting next to me. I'm sitting on the aisle, and I grab it from her, and I dump her chicken nuggets and French fries onto her lap, and I say, I need your bucket. So I'm sitting in a full plane, and I've got this bucket in front of me. Quiet as can be. I go, bleh. Bleh. And I'm like, bleh.
You got the backdraft coming up through the bucket. Oh God, yes, thank you.
My wife is on right across the aisle from me because there's all 5 of us, so we've got 5 across the aisle, right? And she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like,
if I could talk, I'd say fuck off because look, I'm pretty fucking far from okay right now.
But it's fucking packed. Nobody knows that I'm sitting here puking my guts out.